Hello, everyone. Board Game Lawyer here. It is a Wednesday evening, and I'm looking forward to playing some Marvel Champions from Fantasy Flight Games. And so, as you can see here on the table, I have an array of villains that I call these the box bosses because in all of our campaign boxes, of which we have 5 so far, these are the big guys at the end of the storyline. So we have Red Skull, we have Ronan the Accuser, Loki, Venom Goblin, and Magneto. And recently on my YouTube channel, I posed a question to the community asking who would you like to see go up against Scott Summers, Cyclops. And so I got some responses, which was nice. So I'll share those with you now. So the question was, looking to record another video using Cyclops, which box boss should I fight? And you can see the results here. So Venom Goblin got the least amount of votes, 12%. Loki was next with 15%. Then comes Magneto at 21%, Ronan at 24%, and Red Skull. That was kind of shocking to me. Red Skull chimed in at 29%. There was 34 votes. I just put this out a couple of days ago, 2 days ago. So got 34 votes. So we're going to play against Red Skull this evening using Cyclops. So we'll go ahead and do a little bit of cleanup here. Get rid of these guys. We'll set up some more challenges, and maybe these guys will show up later. But for tonight, we're going to play with Red Skull. I'm not disappointed. I really like Red Skull, so probably the playmat gave it away a little bit. That we're using Hydra, Red Skull tonight. And so we're going to be playing in standard. So we have Red Skull 1 and 2. And I need to go find some dials. Forgot to bring those. Here we go. Grab me some dials here in my box. All right. Get our boxes out. So Red Skull in his standard form says that he gets +1 attack for each side scheme in play. And of course, if you played with Red Skull before, you know that there's no shortages of side schemes that come out into play. He begins the game with 12 health. You might not think that that's very much health, but Red Skull finds a way to make it a lot. And with the scenario that I decided to set up this evening, it might make it either the longest game I've ever played or the shortest game I've ever played. So let's get Cyclops ready. We got Scott Summers. He comes into play with 10 hit points on him. All right, so we got both of our villain, and we got our hero set up in alter ego form. And Scott Summers says that you may include X-Men allies from any aspect in your deck. One of the reasons why I like Cyclops so much is because I love the X-Men and I love being able to play with all the different X-Men characters. So he has a constant training, which is an action. Search your deck for a tactic upgrade and add it to your hand. Okay, so his obligation is his Lost Visor. We'll set that aside here because we'll have to shuffle that into our encounter deck. Got to get everything set up here. So we'll just kind of look at it as we go. So here is our main scheme for the Rise of Red Skull. So we use Red Skull and a standard encounter set and 2 modular encounter sets, Hydra Assault and Hydra Patrol. Well, I'm going to take both of those out. I hope that doesn't mess up the deck here by doing so. But I'm going to remove both of those today. And I decided that Red Skull is going to employ some big-time robots. So we have the Sleeper, of course, which is part of his kit. But we also are going to include in his deck, instead of the Hydras, we're going to bring in the Sentinels, fitting because we're using the X-Men. So we've got some big Sentinel bodies here. And there's that side scheme. We'll set that aside for now. So that'll be one of our encounter sets, modular sets. And the other one's going to be actually a Nemesis set that also includes a giant robot, Edison's giant robot. So here's Thomas Edison. This is Miss Marvel's Nemesis, but we're going to include her Nemesis in our encounter deck today. And of course, we're going to set aside Generation Y. Oh, why not? Put it right over there. Okay, so let's look at this main scheme some more. It says to put the Red House into play. So the Red House is one of the side schemes in our Red Skull kit. So we're going to put it into play. And we'll set these aside for now. And then it says, shuffle every other side scheme into the side scheme deck and set it next to the encounter deck, and set the sleeper aside out of play. So we had that sleeper over here. There he is. We're going to put him aside out of play for now. And we're going to shuffle all of these side schemes, including the ones that I just added from the Thomas Edison, Miss Marvel, Nemesis, as well as the Sentinels. So we'll shuffle that up. We'll set it off to the side and make it its own deck for now. Okay. And then we'll also make some room here. We'll also have to shuffle the rest of our encounter deck, which includes our standard sets, as well as all of the Red Skull's kit to make our encounter deck here. Let's read the rest of the Rise of Red Skull. So we've done that. We set the sleeper side out of play. We made the side scheme deck. All right, so 1A is done. We flip to side 1B, and it says force response. After resolving step 1 of the villain phase, reveal the top card of the side scheme deck and put it into play. So that's one of those rules that I have to remember, is that after resolving step 1 of the villain phase, a side scheme is going to pop out. Okay, and then we'll put the New World Hydra down below. It doesn't come into play with any threat on it, but it threats out at 8, which doesn't tend to be a lot with Red Skull. So let me do a better job here shuffling this encounter deck. We'll put our Lost Visor in there. All right, the Red House, when it comes out, it says that Red Skull cannot take damage while that Red House is in play. When a character thwarts this side scheme, they may use their attack instead of their thwart. When a character thwarts this side scheme, they may use their attack instead of their thwart. Just working at getting this encounter deck shuffled up a little bit better. So we're going to be using Cyclops today with, well, I guess I'm making it aggression, but there's not very many aggression cards in the deck. There's a lot of different X-Men. It's a heavy ally deck today. I think we're going to need that going up against all of these giant robots and Sentinels. We'll see. All right, shuffled the encounter deck. It's nice and shuffled. I shuffled the hero deck earlier. I'm just going to give it a few more. Yeah, it's shuffled up. Let me just give it a few more, and then we'll start our game. By the way, thanks for everyone who voted for the villain this time. It's the first time I've got a chance to actually post any kind of a poll on my YouTube channel. Not sure why that all of a sudden got unlocked, but hey, I'll take advantage of it. And I'll be posting some more. So look for some more polls. If you go to, I think, the community tab on my YouTube page, that's where you can vote for some different combinations of things in the future. So got my hero deck shuffled up. Scott Summers begins play with a hand size of 6, so I'll go ahead and draw my cards after I put 3 threat. We'll go ahead and put the 3 threat out there on the Red House. Everything's set up. We'll draw our hand size of 6. So we have the Angel. We have Tactical Brilliance. Okay. And we have Utopia. Each of your allies has the X-Men trait. Increase your ally limit by 1. After an X-Men ally enters play, exhaust Utopia, ready an X-Men character. Good card to have early on. We have Meditation. We have Polaris. After Polaris enters play, give X-Men character a tough status card. Nice. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One more card is the Nightcrawler. When an X-Men character would take any amount of damage from an enemy attack, spend a energy resource and return Nightcrawler to your hand. Prevent all of that damage. So it's a way to bounce cards back in your hand. I like this one. One of my favorite protection characters is Starhawk because he bounces back to your hand. So this might be another card that I may end up liking quite a bit as Nightcrawler. So there's my cards. Let's see. Let's call out some of this. Tactical Brilliance is a hero action. Remove 3 threat from a scheme. Choose a tactic card in your discard pile and add it to your hand. Don't have any to put out there just yet. Do I want to keep Utopia? I probably do, because I want to try to get as many X-Men characters on the board as I can. And that meditation is great to get Nightcrawler out. So we'll just let's just hang on. Let me just take a look at Utopia for a second. It says, after an X-Men ally enters play, exhaust Utopia, ready an X-Men character. So it's just the response. Okay, good. All right. So we do have that constant training. It says, search your deck for a tactic upgrade, add it to your hand. This is the part that I kind of messed up early on. So I got to look for an upgrade that's also a tactic in here. So we have, there's one, exploit weakness. There is another one. The enemy gets -1. Let's go ahead and grab that one. Practice defense. Put that in my hand. Shuffle my deck. And let's see what we got here. So we have Angel, Utopia, Polaris. I like Polaris a lot. How about we begin by putting Utopia on the table. After an X-Men ally enters play, exhaust Utopia, ready an X-Men character. Okay. Let's use Tactical Brilliance and possibly Angel to put out Utopia. We'll spend those two to put out Utopia. All right. So I can increase my ally limit by 1. Nightcrawler, we could use Meditation to put out Nightcrawler. All right, let's do that. Ready an X-Men character. Can't really ready an X-Men character. We will use... Yeah, let's go ahead and put Nightcrawler out. So Nightcrawler is going to come into play using Meditation. So we'll exhaust Scott Summers to use Meditation. So it says, exhaust your alter ego, play a card from your hand, reducing its resource cost by 3. So that's what we'll do. We'll bring Nightcrawler out onto the table. When an X-Men character would take any amount of damage from an enemy attack, spend a energy resource, return Nightcrawler to your hand, prevent all of that damage. And we're going to put Practice Defense onto Red Skull. Attached to an enemy, max 1 per enemy. Temporary, attached enemy gets -1 attack. So we'll attach that to Red Skull. Does Red Skull have a tough card or anything? No, he just gets +1 attack for each side scheme in play. All right, after an X-Men enters play, exhaust Utopia, ready an X-Men character. Well, he's not X-Men necessarily. So, and I had to exhaust him in alter ego form in order to play Nightcrawler. So maybe not the most efficient use of characters, but anyway, nonetheless, we'll flip over to our Cyclops side. He has the Optic Blast, attack. Spend 1 resource of any type, deal 3 damage to an enemy with an upgrade attached. Limit once per round. Well, you'll recall that we cannot, when a character thwarts a side scheme, they may use their attack instead of their thwart. It says Red Skull cannot take damage. So even if I were to use that Optic Blast right now, we wouldn't be able to do any damage at all to Red Skull. But we do have Nightcrawler on the table. He can exhaust or remove 2 threat from the Red House, which is, I think, what we need to do. Take 2 off of there, and we will do 1 damage to Nightcrawler. All right, so we got Utopia on the table. We've got Nightcrawler on the table. Cyclops readies. We have Practice Defense on Red Skull, which is a temporary upgrade. So this temporary upgrade is going to go away at the end of the round. That's when that one will disappear. So we have the Rise of Red Skull. We're going to have Polaris in our hand. We're going to draw he has a hand size of 5, so we're going to draw Exploit Weakness. We're going to draw Storm. We'll draw Attack Training, and we will draw Energy. Okay, that's a nice hand to go into the next round. So we do place that 1 threat on the Rise of Red Skull. And then it says, after resolving step 1 of the villain phase, reveal the top card of the side scheme deck and put it into play. So our side scheme deck, the top card is Hydra Reinforcements. When defeated, the player who defeated this scheme discards a non-elite minion. Okay, we don't have any non-elite minions on the table, but we do have a hazard icon on that one, so that's going to be bad, where it's going to draw 2. We're going to draw 2 encounter cards now during Red Skull's turn. And so he's now going to attack and get +1 for each side scheme in play. So he's 0, 1, 2, -1. So he's 1, and he's going to attack Cyclops. It says when X-Men character would take any amount of damage from an enemy attack, spend a energy resource and return Nightcrawler to your hand. Well, let's see how much damage he actually does. And he's going to, well, it says give Red Skull a tough status card, and it's going to add 1. So he was 1 + 1 is 2. We'll just take 2 damage onto Cyclops. That'll knock him down to 8. We won't use our Nightcrawler ability necessarily. And then we get to deal ourselves 2 encounter cards. There's the first one. And the second one is here. So let's look at that first one that I dealt. And it is the Harvest. When revealed, exhaust each persona support in play. For each support exhausted this way, the villain heals 1 damage. If no persona was support was exhausted this way, this card gains Surge. We don't have any personas. We're not using Ms. Marvel, so it's not likely that we'll see any of those. So yeah, we're gonna just this one gains Surge. So we'll surge this one out onto the table. And then we have a Sentinel Mark V. When revealed, if targeted for elimination is attached to your identity, Sentinel Mark V attacks you, even if you're in alter ego form. Otherwise, search the encounter deck and discard pile for the targeted for elimination attachment and reveal it. Okay, so we got to go find that targeted for elimination. And there's one right here on the bottom of the deck. We'll shuffle up that encounter deck. Ugh. All right. And what does it say? It reads, attached to your identity. If a copy of targeted for elimination is not attached to you, otherwise, this card gains Surge. While you're engaged with a Sentinel minion, you cannot change from hero form to alter ego form. Action, exhaust your identity, and discard this card. So we're stuck in hero form while we're engaged with a Sentinel minion. All right, so targeted for elimination is on Cyclops. All right. And all right, so our other encounter card reads, it's an advance. So he's going to scheme 4, 2, plus give the villain a tough status card and another boost card. So he was supposed to get a tough card earlier, right? Yeah. He was supposed to have had a tough card from the one he got earlier. So there we go. We'll recall that we had Spreading Lies, give Red Skull a tough status card. That was a boost card that we used earlier. So this one says give the boost status card and another boost card. So he's 2 plus. All right, so we got if target for elimination is attached to an identity, deal this card to that player as a face-down encounter card. Okay, so a Sentinel Mark VI is going to get dealt to us as a face-down encounter card. Wow. Sentinel's coming out like crazy. So all we got was 2 threat placed on the Rise of Red Skull. But we're still revealing encounter cards. So we're going to reveal this one, which is a Sentinel Mark 6 who has Quick Strike for an attack of 2. And so I can either prevent that damage by bringing Nightcrawler into my hand by playing an energy resource, or I could just take the 2 damage. I'll just go ahead and take the 2 damage onto Cyclops. Probably a terrible idea, but now we have 2 Sentinels on the table. Practice Defense goes to the discard pile because it's the end of the round. We've got Targeted for Elimination on the table. So we have got some robot presence out in front of us today. All right, so it's going to start Cyclops' turn. Remember, we can't flip down into Alter Ego form right just yet, but we do have some good cards in our hands. Hopefully we can do some damage. So we got Storm. Reduce the cost of Storm to play Storm by 1 if your identity has a mutant or X-Men trait. When Storm thwarts a scheme, move 2 threat from that scheme to another scheme. We do need to get rid of some schemes. We have the attack training. Attached ally get +1 attack and +2 hit points. That's nice. And we have that exploit weakness. So what can we afford to put on the table? I would like to get Polaris out. That would be handy. Also, it'd be nice to give someone, jump somebody up. So how about we do this? Why don't we do some attack training? We'll use Storm. Yeah, we'll use Storm to put out attack training. And we'll put that on Nightcrawler. Attached ally gets +1 attack and +2 hit points. Okay, so that's what we'll do. We're going to spin Storm to put that onto Nightcrawler. It's going to keep him from getting damaged, right? So, ooh, I like that. Getting rid of that Hydra reinforcements will get rid of one of these Sentinels because they're not elite. Like it. All right, so Storm was used to put out that card. Then we can, with Nightcrawler, we can thwart for 2 off of Hydra reinforcements. I like it. All right, so it says, when defeated, the player who defeated this scheme discards a non-elite minion. So it's going to go to the discard pile over here. We're going to get rid of this big Sentinel here. Well, this one takes 6 damage to get rid of him. Let's get rid of this one. We'll get rid of the Sentinel Mark 6. So he's gone. He's out. He gone. Like it. And then if we put Polaris out, it says, after Polaris enters play, give an X-Men character a tough status card. We got to do that 1 consequential damage onto Nightcrawler. And it says, after an X-Men enters play, exhaust Utopia and ready an X-Men character. So let's do this. Let's put Polaris out on the table with these 3 resources here. And it says, after Polaris enters play, give an X-Men character a tough status card. So we're going to give the tough status card over to Cyclops. Yep, he's going to be tough. And Utopia says, after an X-Men ally enters play, exhaust Utopia and ready an X-Men character. So we're going to ready Nightcrawler. He's back upright. Okay, and remember, he now has +1 attack and +2 hit points. So he's up to 4, so he can attack again. I think what Polaris wants to do is get rid of that side scheme. After Polaris enters play, give an X-Men character a tough status card. She's going to thwart for 1 to get rid of the Red House. And the Red House, when the character thwarts this side scheme, they use their attack instead of their thwart. Well, regardless, we got rid of the Red House. Red House is gone. It's gone to the discard pile, which is nice. So we have Cyclops, who can do 2 damage to the Sentinel Mark 5, which is a great idea. And then we've got Nightcrawler, who can do 3 damage to the Sentinel Mark 5. So he's gone. Put a damage here, a damage here. Sentinel Mark V is defeated. So he's down to the wire here. All right, so that's it. That's all I can do. We don't have any attachments onto him. And this one, how do we get rid of this? It says exhaust your identity to discard this card. So targeted for elimination is going to remain onto Cyclops. But we are no longer engaged with a Sentinel minion, so we're not obligated to stay in hero form now anyway. So this one maybe, so there was, I think there was like 4 Sentinels in my deck. So unless there's something that brings out another Sentinel, which there likely is, this may not make much difference going forward. We'll see. All right, so Nightcrawler, Polaris, Rise of Red Skull. Okay, and we got our Utopia. So we're going to, I could flip down, but then he would scheme for so much. So we got our tough card. So we'll just hang on to that, and we'll draw 5 hand size. We have Practice Defense. We have Cerebro. Alter Ego action. Exhaust Cerebro. Search the top 5 cards of your deck for an X-Men ally. Search your whole deck instead if you control a psionic character. Add that ally to your hand. Okay, so there's 2. Here's 3. There's Meditation. We got Priority Target. And we have Colossus. So we could potentially get Colossus out this round. That would be nice. He is tough. But we got to think about what's getting ready to happen here on the Red Skull's turn. So that's going to end my turn. We're going to place 1 threat on the Rise of Red Skull. Red Skull is going to bring out a side scheme, which is Relentless Robots. It says each player engaged with a Sentinel minion cannot thwart this scheme. Okay? But does have Hazard on there, so that's a terrible card to have out because we're going to draw 2 cards now again, just as before. So Red Skull is going to attack me. We'll draw our card here. So it's 2 plus 1. So it's 3 attack onto Cyclops. We'll remove our tough card, and then we'll deal ourselves 2 encounter cards. There's 1, and here's 2. So our first one is Infinite Power. When revealed, Alter Ego. When revealed, Red Skull. Give Red Skull a tough status card. Red Skull attacks you. All right, so Red Skull is going to attack me, and he still has 1 side skin on the tail, so he's 1 attack. Let me see if I've got anything here. Practice Defense. So I could bring Nightcrawler back to my hand. That may not be a terrible thing. May not be bad at all to do that. Or we can just take damage. I guess we get a choice, right? It says when you take any amount of damage, let's see what damage he's going to give. So it's 1 plus 2 is 3. I think we'll just go ahead and take the 3 damage. 1, 2, 3. We'll leave Nightcrawler out there for now. And then we'll draw our next card, which is an advance. So he's 2 plus 2 is 4. So that's going to scheme out the Rise of Red Skull. I hate advance. All right, it's gone. And then this is revealed. It says, when revealed, reveal the top card of the side scheme deck and put it into play. Top card of the side scheme deck is Mass Chaos. When revealed, each player discards the top 5 cards of their deck and places 1 threat here for each different type of resource icon they discarded this way. Okay? So it says reveal it and put it into play. So we'll discard the top 5 cards, which is a fist, a mental, another fist, another mental, and a fist. So 2 threat goes on to Mass Chaos. All right. And New World Hydra flips. So it schemes out at 11. It comes in with 1. Force response. After resolving step 1 of the villain phase, reveal top card of the side scheme deck, put into play. If it's completed, the players lose the game. Okay. It's not much different than the other one. So we'll place that 1 threat, though, on the New World Hydra, but that will end that turn. I almost feel like I should have brought Nightcrawler back up into my hand somehow. I feel like I should have done that. But here we are. Mass Chaos. Can't remove any threat off of there because of this icon. Comes into play with 2. Relentless Robots. We got to get rid of that. All right. And we've got Targeted Priority, Practice Defense, Meditation. We could bring out Colossus. That would be nice. We get Colossus on the table. So what do we do? How are we looking? So if we put attached to an enemy, when attached enemy is defeated, the player who defeated it draws 2 cards. So that's not likely to happen. So we may use that to pay for Cerebro. Exhaust Cerebro. Search the top 5 cards of your deck for an X-Men ally. I think the bigger concern is the Relentless Robots right now. So let's each player engage with a Sentinel minion cannot thwart the scheme. We're not engaged with a Sentinel, so we probably need to get rid of it. I'd say so. So we're going to exhaust Polaris. Let's begin with Cyclops. We'll use Cyclops. Yeah, let's do that. Cyclops to get rid of 2 threat off of Relentless Robots. And the Optic Blast. All right, so Polaris. We'll exhaust Polaris. This gets rid of Relentless Robots. I like that. I like that it's gone. All right, so we have Mass Chaos still out there. We got a tough card on the Red Skull. I really hate to waste. And he's got toughness on him. I really hate to waste a 3 punch. We could do this. Yeah, I think we'll leave Nightcrawler up for now. And this is what we'll do. We're going to put... Let's put Cerebro on the table just because it's a support we could put out there. And we are going to flip down to Alter Ego form. So that might do us some good. Play only if your identity has the mutant trait. So I can't actually play that. Can't play that until we have the mutant trait, which is in my Alter Ego form anyway. So let's hang on to that just for a moment. Not really necessary for us to spend it now. If I did put Practice Defense out there, we could potentially start doing some damage with my Cyclops. How about it? Let's do that. Yeah, I think so. So let's put Practice Defense onto Red Skull, and then we will spend a resource to do the Optic Blast. Spend 1 resource of any type, deal 3 damage to an enemy with an upgrade attached to it. So yeah, let's do the 3 damage. We'll just spend the 1 resource. Boy, I hate to spend resources for that. It's tough to know. Tough to know what to do sometimes. Because I do want to get Cerebro out there. I don't think we'll do it. I think we're going to just use this as a resource. We'll ignore the Optic Blast for now. We'll just flip over to our Alter Ego form. That will allow us to go and find an upgrade tactic and add it to our hand, which I think we'll just go ahead and do that now. Let's look for an upgrade tactic. Hopefully there's one in here. It'll at least be a resource. Here's an upgrade tactic. Plan B. I like Plan B a lot. Or we could bring up Exploit Weakness. Or we can grab, that's a title. That's it. That's my choices. Let's grab Plan B. We can put some Plan B out. Shuffle my deck. And then we will let's put Cerebro on the table. We'll use one of these here. Yeah, we'll use the priority target to put Cerebro on the table. Exhaust Cerebro, search the top 5 cards of your deck for an X-Men ally and add it to your ally, that ally to your hand. So let's look at the top 5 cards. We've got Game Time, Exploit Weakness, Genius, Ricochet Beam, and Tactical Brilliance. We had none. And then we shuffle. All right. Shuffling. So that was a waste of a resource. If I put out... Oh, I'm already exhausted. I can't use meditation. Ugh. How terrible. So I think I'm just going to have to use these resources here to play Colossus. If your identity has the mutant or X-Men trait, so it's reduced by 1. So Colossus comes out. That fires off Utopia. When an X-Men ally enters play, exhaust Utopia, ready an X-Men character. So we'll ready Polaris. And Polaris... He's tough. I don't think I'm playing this one very good, guys. Sorry. I think Polaris, we're just going to attack with Polaris and knock the tough off of Red Skull. I mean, how many more tough cards could he get? I'm seeing all kinds of cards giving him tough. So Polaris is defeated. Knocks off the tough card. Colossus is going to do damage to Red Skull for 3, and he loses his tough when he takes that consequential damage. But it will do 3 damage to Red Skull. We got to start damaging this guy. He can't just hang out there all day. And then Nightcrawler, he's also going to attack. He's going to exhaust. He's going to lose his final hit point to do that. But anyway, that's going to do 3 more damage to Red Skull. 1, 2, 3, knocks him down to 6. So he's halfway gone. And I've got Cyclops on the table. Utopia. Scott Summers. He's still targeted for elimination. Cerebro. Mass Chaos is on the table. Ooh, yeah, gotta get rid of that. That's gonna come to the end of my turn. I'm gonna draw up my hand size of 6. I got Beast, Ricochet Beam, Wolverine, Ricochet Beam, Game Time. Nice. And we've got Strength. Good. Nice hand. Excellent. All right. So, Red Skull. We're going to place 1 threat onto the New World Hydra. After resolving the step, we're going to reveal the top card, which is the Sleeper Awakened. This scheme cannot leave play while the Sleeper is in play. All right, so we're going to bring the Sleeper out. It says, put the Sleeper into play, engage with the first player. When the Sleeper is defeated, remove this card from the game. All right, here comes the Sleeper Man. We got another big robot out there. He has Guard, Retaliate, and Toughness. So here's his tough card. Okay. So Red Skull's going to scheme for 2. Plus 2 is 4. We'll put out one more because the sleeper is going to scheme for 1. So it's 5. We're up to 7. And here is our encounter card. It reads, Thomas Edison. Thomas Edison cannot take damage while you're engaged with another minion. So he's a guard. He can't be defeated while this guy's in play. Edison's out there. He's a big schemer. We got a giant bird. We got a giant robot. We got a giant Russian. Oof. It's looking rough. Let's see what we can do. So Colossus. Beast. After Beast enters play, search your deck and discard pile for a resource card. Add it to your hand. Wolverine's attacks gain piercing. I like that. So he could actually pierce the sleeper's hide. Ooh. Okay. Do we have enough? Let's see. Ricochet beam. Let's see. Deal 3 damage to an enemy. Deal 3 damage to an enemy with an upgrade attached. How many upgrades out there? And we got game time. How's about? Oh, I can't get him out there. Oh, but I can go search. So that's helpful. So search your deck for a tactic upgrade. Add it to your hand limit once per round. We'll start by doing that. Let's look for that tactic upgrade. It's probably going to end up being a resource. Here's a tactic upgrade. Yep, it's probably going to end up just being a resource because I'm going to need it to get both those guys out there. We got to get the sleeper off the table. We got to get Edison out of here. We got to take care of some business, which is fine. You can do that. I like it. All right, so here comes exploit weakness. Let's use game time. Choose an ally with a training upgrade attached. He'll damage 1 from it. Okay. Let's get Beast out there. We're going to use strength and a couple ricochet beams to put Beast out onto the table. So Beast comes out. Response: after Beast enters play, search your deck and discard pile for a resource card and add it to your hand. That resource card that I just paid for him with, we'll just go ahead and bring that back to our hand. Yep, that's what we're going to do. That Utopia, after X-Men ally enters play, exhaust Utopia, ready an X-Men character. So it's at this point, I think, that we're going to flip over to our Cyclops side. And we're going to exhaust Cyclops to remove 2 threat from Mass Chaos, so it's gone. Let's get it out of here. And then we spend 4 resources. 1, 2, 3, 4 to put out Wolverine. So Utopia will go off. Yeah. Let's do that. Let's put Wolverine out onto the table. Using these 4 resources here. And Wolverine's attacks gain piercing. After your turn begins, heal 1 damage from Wolverine. Utopia says, after an X-Men ally enters play, ready an X-Men character. So we'll ready Cyclops, so he comes back up. Mass Chaos is gone. Make sure I'm not throwing any side schemes in the discard pile. Sleeper's Awakened is still on the table. So he's got piercing. And so he's going to take 3 consequential damage. And he's also going to take 1 retaliate. But let's do it anyway. We're going to take 3 damage onto Wolverine to pierce the hide of the sleeper. And he does 3 damage there. Then Beast, right? Beast can attack for 2. Beast is going to attack for 2. That's going to knock out the sleeper. Guard, retaliate, toughness. Remove the sleeper from the game when he's defeated. So it's removed from the game completely. And the sleeper awakened, I think the same happens here. Put the sleeper into play with the first player. When the sleeper is defeated, remove this card from the game. Sleeper awakened is gone. And Beast is going to take 1 damage. Now, Cyclops can do 3 damage to Red Skull. I think I will. He takes 2 consequential damage for doing that, though. So 3 damage onto... No, not Red Skull, Thomas Edison. We'll take care of this guy. Let's get rid of Thomas Edison before we bring another minion out. Okay, Edison's gone. Cyclops, his most efficient use at this point would be to remove 2 threat from the New World Hydra. Ugh. I'm really having to fight to keep my head above water against this guy. So we're going to ready everything. We're going to draw our cards. I didn't get any good Red Skull side schemes so far. So far, the side schemes that I've got are very punishing, which is encouraging in a way because now maybe, over here we can start drawing something that's going to help us. But here's our 5-hand size. We draw Full Blast. When you use your Optic Blast ability, exhaust Cyclops and deal 8 additional damage and gains Overkill. We have Meditation. We have Game Time. We draw another Game Time. Wow. And we have Marvel Girl. When Marvel Girls attack a minion, remove X threat from the main scheme, where X is that minion's printed scheme. All right, so there's my 5 cards. New World Hydra takes a threat. Red Skull is going to get prison camps. So when defeated, the player who defeated the scheme searches their deck and discard pile for an ally, puts it into play, and shuffles their deck. That could be really handy. Comes into play with 3. Now, Red Skull is going to attack Cyclops. I can't take a tremendous amount of damage anymore. It's not good. Not good at all. So probably going to have to either defend for 2 or block with one of these guys. So he attacks for 1. I've got 3. As long as he doesn't draw a 5, I'm good. So I'm just going to, with Cyclops, I'm just going to defend. And so he's going to hit me for 2 plus 1 is 3. So I defend for 2, so I take 1 damage. Right? Yep, and here's my encounter card. Just 1 this time. Insight 1, attached to a side scheme. When attached side scheme is defeated, deal the first player an encounter card. Great. Okay, just give me a free character. There's always got to be some strings attached. So Insight 1 means we place 1 threat on the main scheme. All right. End of Red Skull's turn. Wolverine attacks, gains piercing. Response after your turn begins. Heal 1 damage from Wolverine. I like that. Let's get 1 damage off of Wolverine. So 3 goes down to 2. Wow, we're going to use Wolverine to thwart. We may. We may. All right. We got Full Blast. We've got Meditation. We got Game Time. Choose an ally with a training upgrade attached. Ready that ally. Heal 1 damage from it. Nope, not happening. And we got Marvel Girl. I don't have any training attached to anybody, right? No, nothing. If we bring Marvel Girl out, we can reset somebody. We may need to do that with Beast. Or maybe Cyclops. I don't have any upgrades I can put on to use my blast either. It's looking rough. I could flip down and use Meditation to put out Marvel Girl. She says when Marvel Girl attacks a minion, remove X from the main scheme. So we don't have any minions on the table currently. And she removes 2 threat. How about we... Let's thwart prison camps for 1 with Wolverine. That takes off 1 of these, right? Yep. Let's do that. Player who defeated this scheme searches their deck and discard pile for an ally, puts it into play, and shuffles their deck. Let's do this. Let's punch with Colossus for 3 onto Red Skull. 1, 2, 3 is how he does it, and he's going to be lost because of that. I like it. Now Beast is going to hit for 2 off of prison camps. Yeah, we're going to remove that from the prison camps. When defeated, the player who defeated this scheme searches their deck and discard pile for an ally and puts it into play and shuffles their deck. The Incite card will go off. When attached side scheme is defeated, deal the first player an encounter card. Let's just go ahead and do that now so we don't forget. There's my encounter card right there. And now we're going to look for a... It can be from either our deck or discard pile, right? Deck and discard pile for an ally, puts it into play. Let's see what we got in our deck. We got Phoenix. After Phoenix enters play, choose a Cyclops card in your discard pile, add it to your hand. That could be handy. All right. Yes, that sure could. Because then I could do that. Optic Blast. I like it. I like it a lot. We could just go grab Phoenix and throw her out there. And then we can get a card from our discard pile, add it to our hand. How about it? Let's do it. Phoenix comes out. And we'll shuffle our deck here. Okay, good. Do I have to do that? When you use your Optic Blast ability, exhaust Cyclops. This attack deals 8 damage and gains overkill. So when we brought Phoenix out, when she enters play, search your card discard pile for a card, add it to your hand. Let's go grab... Yeah, let's do that. Let's get this exploit weakness on the table so we can do extra damage. Great. We can do that. We're going to bring exploit weakness into our hand. And we can ready an X-Men character. So we're going to ready Cyclops. Good. And if we put that exploit weakness onto Red Skull, which I think is a good thing to do, we'll use game time to do that. Yes. And now Phoenix gets the pleasure of, let's see, 8 additional damage and overkill. I'm worried that he comes into play with toughness. I can't remember. Let's do that. Let's bring Phoenix. Let's take attack with Phoenix. It's gonna amount of damage he takes. Increase the amount of damage by 1, so that's going to knock him all the way down to 0. Okay. So stage 1 of Red Skull is defeated. And now we're on to stage 2. Now Red Skull gets +1 attack for each side scheme in play. That's the same as before. But it says when revealed, deal each player an encounter card. So the encounter card that we're going to deal ourselves is right there. So we have 2 now that we're going to have to contend with on Red Skull's turn. But we're still going. We can now... can't do meditate necessarily, but we could do a full blast. So he came into play with 16 hit points on him. Good. And now we could play full blast using game time, which I think we'll do. Yep, full blast. When you use your Optic Blast ability, Exhaust Cyclops, this attack deals 8 additional damage and gains Overkill. So he already does 3 plus 8 is 11. 8, 9, 10, 11. And then we add 1 more. So he's going to do 12 damage with that full blast onto Red Skull. 12 damage brings him all the way down to 4. And we can no longer use meditation for Marvel Girl. But the advantage to keeping these 2 cards in my hand is I may not deck myself, because at this point, decking myself will be horrible. It'll be a horrible, horrible, horrible thing. So, let's see. I did use Beast. Was this the first turn I used Beast? I believe. No. This was the second turn I used Beast. So, he needed to take 1 more consequential damage. I think he does. All right. So, we're going to hang on to Meditation. We're going to hang on to Marvel Girl. And we're going to draw 3 cards. We got Tactical Brilliance. We draw X-Mansion. And we draw another Tactical Brilliance. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That leaves us with 2 cards in our deck. So that's good. Cyclops is going to ready. Wolverine readies. Utopia is readied. Phoenix is readied. And Beast is also readied. Got a lot of cards to deal ourselves. This could either be the best part of the game or the worst part of the game right here coming up. So, meditation. This is what we have. We have nothing really to defend with. Okay. Placing that 1 threat on the New World Hydra. We will also deal ourselves a side scheme, which is Censor the Past. When defeated, each player chooses up to 3 cards in their discard pile and shuffles them into their deck. Comes out with 3 threat on it. And now Red Skull is going to attack Cyclops. So the question is, do we want to defend? I think we do with Beast. Beast is going to defend. And so the attack is going to be... 1 plus 1 is 2 plus 0 on the Beast. So Beast is defeated. Deal ourselves another encounter card. So we got 3 encounter cards to deal with this turn. Our first one is Spreading Lies. When revealed, place 2 threat on each scheme in play. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. On each scheme in play. Ooh, that was really close. That was super close. So now we're up to 10. And we put 2 more on Censor the Past. Ugh. I think we've already seen both the advances. That's one advantage, but I hope I don't see any more Spreading Lies. We've got the Sentinel. When revealed, if targeted for elimination is attached to your identity, Sentinel Mark IV attacks you, even if you're in alter ego form. Otherwise, search the encounter deck and discard pile for the targeted elimination and reveal it. So he's going to attack me for 3. What I could do is defend, or I could just defend with? I think I'm going to defend it because he's going to attack me for 3. Attacks you. Okay, he's going to attack me. So we're going to exhaust to defend 2. So it's 3 minus 2 is 1. So he's going to do 1 damage to me. Here's the last encounter card. He doesn't have guard either, does he? No, he's not a guard. Last encounter card is a Hydro Exo Soldier who has toughness. Yes. All right. So that's all he is tough. So we've got the Hydro Exo Soldier on the table. He's tough. Give the villain a tough status card if he's drawn as a boost. He wasn't. He is not a guard. That's helpful. Also, this Sentinel is not a guard either, right? Okay. Yep, not a guard. Ooh, that was really close. 10 threat. Censor the past. Everything is good there. So we're going to begin my turn. So we're going to take 1. We're going to heal Wolverine for 1. Wolverine is going to attack Red Skull for 3. 3 damage. 1, 2, 3. Onto Red Skull. That's going to eliminate Wolverine. But then we got our gal, Phoenix. Phoenix attacks for 2. 2 damage onto Red Skull. 1, 2. He's down to 0. And if I did everything correctly, which exploit weakness would have gone away at the end of Red Skull's turn. Should have gotten rid of that. If I did everything correctly, that means that Red Skull has been defeated. And that was a fun game. The next turn would have been terrible. So we needed to defeat him on that turn. Getting Phoenix out was clutch because it's what allowed me to do so much damage with Cyclops. And it also allowed her to ready Cyclops so that he could do so. So that was a really fun game. I hope you enjoyed watching it as much as I enjoyed playing it. Sorry if I slow played, but I'm trying to be more careful not to make mistakes while I'm recording. Generally, whenever I'm playing, like for the Solo Champions League, or if I'm playing just casually at home, I grab some coffee, take my time. But when recording, you kind of feel rushed. Sometimes I miss things. If I missed anything in the video today, please point that out to me in the comments down below. Thanks to those who voted on Red Skull this week. That was a lot of fun. And so I'll set up another poll on my YouTube page, and hopefully you can find that and vote on the next round. So thanks everyone for watching today. Hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to bring you another video again very soon.